So
Wait,
Yes.
yeah,
Ian.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Okay. Thank you
No,
so much.
yeah, okay,
Oh my God.
thanks.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. We're having a little bit of a skeleton crew today. Though we are just coming off the long holidays, so maybe some people are still, bouncing around. Oh, we got somebody. Thai? Not sure who that is, but okay. Okay. Yeah. Admitting. Okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Nice to have everyone on board. I'm Greg, and today we are continuing our part 2 of the March series in our AI is Fun session, which is, something we do fortnightly every 2 weeks. We share about the latest and greatest in AI. Gives you a bit of a hands-on experience, if there is any for the day today, which there is going to be actually for today. I'm gonna show you some of the topics we're gonna touch on, but yeah, I'm joined today with Ian, Noel, and Hao, who are my co-presenters of the day. And so I think to start it off, for me, later on, I'm going to be touching a bit on Gemini, the built-in Gemini on YouTube, and talking a little bit about this thing called character AI, right? Last year, it actually got very popular. It's been dying down a little bit this year, but there's a reason for that. We'll cover it in a bit. Ian, later on, is going to touch on some latest and greatest news in the industry and, AI as a whole, right? And Hao is going to talk a bit more on Suno, which is a music creation tool, also AI powered. And Noel is going to show us and start us off in a little bit on some Notebook LM, which is a Google tool, right? And also a little bit on Gemini, which is also from Google. So, Noel, are you around?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
Okay.
let me just.
Yeah, I'm going to pass it to you, Noel.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just turn on my camera and then share my screen.
Sure.
All of you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to do a bit of publicity for our YouTube channel. I like Greg's picture there, a very younger version. At least he looks so young.
9 days ago, young.
Okay, do join us in this channel. All right, I think there's a lot of recording that we have had from the past. We also did have a channel called the Microsoft Copilot TTT, which we no longer continue to run. Essentially, we have consolidated that into the AI is Fun. All right, so do continue to support us in the AI is Fun. But what I wanted to do is to talk a little bit about some of the things I've been working with. All right, I spend a lot of time looking at how one AI can make another AI better. So there's two parts to this demo that I want to show. All right, I think important thing to note is AI has become an important part of education, and we ourselves spend a lot of time educating others. So we wanted to make sure that we have the opportunity to share what are some of the common AI tools. I wouldn't say they're popular necessarily because I've seen over the years more and more people are trying different tools. So ChatGPT continued to be a good tool for me, and I use it quite a fair bit on a number of things. But today I'm not going to talk about interview questions that we're going to use ChatGPT to create. But what I wanted to talk about is how I can use one AI tool, right, to get it to create a prompt for me that will be used in another AI tool. Okay, so you want AI helping AI if you want. And all that because I feel that AI tools today can do a better job. So this is an example of how I got ChatGPT to give me a prompt by me giving it an instruction that looks like this. Give me a Gemini AI prompt for a photorealistic picture of my family of three with a 7-year-old son having a wonderful time, enjoying a picnic and so on. Okay. Then, of course, after getting ChatGPT to do that, it came up with a very much nicer prompt that I could use. Something I probably cannot personally create. Right? You can see that down here is created a much longer, probably at least 6 to 7 times longer. And it also gives me options to enhance it further. right? So for example, to improve the style, it's suggesting words like hyper-realistic, award-winning photography, even giving me ideas on how to improve the atmosphere and so forth. Some of these pictures may in turn be used to create videos after that. So I followed the prompt and it continued to give me a much better prompt. So ultimately, the goal here is to put this prompt into Gemini. So with Gemini, it will produce a result that is photorealistic with a cinematic lifestyle photograph and all those other nice fancy way of creating a very nice picture. Okay. And as you can see, after a minute or so, it came out with a super really spectacular picture, which with my own ability to prompt, probably would never come up with anything as good as that. Okay. So using ChatGPT to create that amazing prompt that I then fed into Gemini AI, I got this particular picture. Okay. As you can see, I can change all this because I put in the prompt that says, give me Chinese Asian faces. So it gave me that. Otherwise, you probably would have defaulted to Caucasians, white Caucasians, for example. Okay, so that's one way to think about it. Now, if I want to take it further, I wanted to bring that into a video, and I don't have a paid subscription of Gemini AI, which will give me VO3. What I could do is I can try to use the Bing Video Creator, right? The Bing Video Creator is free, right? Obviously, the model that it will use will be different, right? It will use the DALL-E 3 model, right, for pictures, and also I think similarly for video, right? I'm not sure whether the free will give us Sora, right? But definitely you can try using this option here. The link is down here for you to get to the Bing image creator as well as the video generator. Okay, so that's one way to do it. If you want to get access to this, you can click on this QR code, right? It will give you some free credits to use for the video creator, because normally video creation tend to be very heavy on tokens, right? So this is something that based on my login to the Bing login. Now, the other area that I wanted to talk about is the Notebook LM and Gemini AI. I found some really interesting things you can do with the integration of the two. Right? So what I wanted to touch on is how they talk to each other. Both Notebook LM and Gemini AI are two separate products, although they come under the Gemini AI suite, but they are two separate products. So let me take you to my screen to show you what that looks like. Now, I just created this particular notebook. Okay. I know how I shown Notebook LM, so I'm not going to go back to the basics, but I just created this particular notebook based on a single YouTube video. Right, this is a piece of technology that we work with, all right, in the Azure hybrid space called Azure Local. So there is a community solution called Azure Local Lens, and one of the Microsoft program managers called Thomas Maurer was talking about it in his YouTube video. So I added the YouTube video and it gave me this summary. Now, all these questions that you see here are actually just prompts that is provided by default in Notebook LM. I didn't actually type the prompt myself. I just clicked on the options, very similar to what you saw with ChatGPT that was giving me some suggestions on what prompts to use. So similarly, Notebook LM gives me the same capability here. Okay. But this is not the bit that I found that was just exciting and interesting, although this is very good. All right. But actually is with Gemini AI integration. So if I go back to this Gemini AI screen that I have, you notice this is what I was showing you earlier, right, with the picture, right? So this is the prompt that was used from ChatGPT. So what I wanted to do was to show you a brand new chat. And when I click on new chat, if you look at the plus symbol here, I can add a Notebook LM link, and I can click on the Azure Local Lens by Thomas Maurer that I had created earlier. And in here, I can say, draw me a picture to illustrate Azure Local Lens. Okay. And I can say, tools, I want you to create an image for me, right? And then see what happens. So what happens in this particular screen, it will actually go to my Notebook LM notebook. It will not go out to the internet to look for anything pertaining to Azure Local Lens. So I can lock down the scope of this Gemini chat so that it doesn't hallucinate, it doesn't go grab other things apart from what Thomas Maurer talked about. Okay. So he tells me I cannot draw images for some reason, but it can give me all this information pertaining to it. Let's see why it doesn't allow me to do that, because normally it can. Create a postcard to invite my community to an Azure Local Lens sharing session. Okay. Let's see whether it will create that postcard for me. I've actually done something similar earlier with other things, all right, but for some reason it didn't like that request for a picture. And normally when it creates pictures, it will actually show up with the Nano Banana option. It's not doing it today. Just to share with you some of the others I've done.
Yeah, it's a bit weird here because I remember that you can actually select for you. Oh yeah, there, the create image button. Maybe you have to click on that.
I did. It didn't. It didn't work earlier.
Oh,
right? Yeah, for some reason. Maybe I ran out of tokens.
Okay. Oh yeah, could be.
Yeah, because I've done it earlier, like this particular one, for example. Right. So I was doing something for a friend who has an art center. So I created a Notebook LM for the PDF for the art center. Then I went in and I said, give me a nice, exciting picture of a postcard. Okay, let's try that. Okay, let's try going back and then asking for, okay, give me a picture of a postcard for Azure Local Lens. Okay, let's see what happens. I could be out of, because this is the free login, all right? So I don't have a subscription. So, oh, here it goes.
Oh, there it is.
Creating your image. Not sure why it didn't do it. Maybe I didn't have the word picture, but shouldn't have made a lot of difference. But anyway, let's see what happens.
Zoe is asking, what's Azure Local Lens?
Wow, look at that. Okay, so this is the picture. As you can see, it does have the ability to do pictures, right? It's actually quite a complex thing, but it does, it gives you monitoring capability of the technology called Azure Local. So not bad. It came up with all these fictitious dates and time. All right. Microsoft Reactor, Seattle. Wow. Okay. All right. So as you can see that it can come up with very nice pictures. And of course, if you check all the spellings are all correct. Right. So that the key thing is it does do a very good job in terms of creating pictures compared to, if you want, with ChatGPT or Copilot or some of the other AI tools. All right,
I find it
so
interesting they generated a QR code.
yeah, that gives you all the capabilities, even when you don't put in the information. Of course, if you put in the information, it will insert all those in for you so that it can be used as a real, proper, all right, postcard in this case. Right, so that's basically what I wanted to show. All right, the AI helping another AI, making it better. All right, not just on your own abilities, but leveraging AI to create the prompts for you. Plus, in Notebook LM, you can also insert a lot of prompts and all that. So in another session, I will share about how I use prompting to create better slide decks, better audio podcasts, and so on and so on. Okay, back to you.
All right.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow. Thank you
Thank
so much, Now. Yeah, so it's a really good continuation of what Hao showed last week in terms of Notebook LM, right? Because I remember Hao was showing, how do you produce slide decks? How do you do research if you put in a YouTube video, for example, as a data source, right? And this is taking it further that I didn't know you can attach your Notebook LM like sort of resources into Gemini, right? I was like, wow, that's the first time for me. Zoe says, I think my Gemini is going on strike, refusing to generate images. Yeah, maybe there's an issue with Gemini today. I don't know. But I'm going to pass it off actually to Ian for our next section. We have actually some breaking news earlier when Noel was talking about him not being sure if the Bing video generator has access to Sora, which is OpenAI, ChatGPT's video generation like sort of solution. But we kind of have bad news on that in a little bit. So I'm gonna pass it off to Ian for some of that. Ian, are you around? All right.
Yes, thank you, Greg. So I think best to show the breaking news first
Yeah, sure.
compared to everything else. So the most breaking news currently, OpenAI is scrapping Sora.
Wow.
Quite the shock, honestly.
Yeah, considering it's such a big thing.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere, honestly. Their reasoning is supposedly that they're trying to refocus their strategy amid challenges in sustaining consumer-facing video AI products. They're not very clear on their reasoning. Do you think that Sora is causing them to lose too much money?
Well, I think a lot of things that OpenAI is doing is causing them to lose a lot of money. I'm just remembering there's this recent news where this a little bit going to be a little bit political, but the U.S. Department of Defense, they recently got dropped by Claude because they used to be in partnership with Claude, which is Anthropic. I don't know if you're all familiar with Anthropic. Anthropic's the also an AI, leading company, just like OpenAI, but they produced the solution called Cloud, right? And OpenAI, ChatGPT, Anthropic as Cloud, and Cloud was actually being used by the Department of Defense back in the U.S. to power their weapons, pretty much, right? Using it in their targeting systems, something like that. And Cloud was like not happy about it, right? And so guess who stepped in after Cloud stepped out? OpenAI did. So now they're using OpenAI as part of their weapons. So I don't know. It caused quite the backlash earlier this month when that happened. So who knows what OpenAI is planning in the future? Yeah.
Yeah, quite interesting. Because from what I'm aware of, Sora was positioned as a breakthrough in AI-generated video. They wanted to push the limits and probably be the best video generation application. And now it's gone.
Yeah, I'm surprised why they're just removing it instead of, if they said that they're gonna, work on a better consumer-facing video generator, why you just leave it up?
Well, we don't know the back end of it, right? Like maybe it does take a lot of processing power. Maybe it is using a lot of their servers, and it's hard to say.
Yeah. Maybe they are just trying to free up resources.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Yeah.
let's move on to some better
Goodbye,
news.
Sarah.
Cisco is unveiling advanced security solution to safeguard AI agents.
So it's kind of like okay, for the layman, it's kind of like an antivirus for the AI agents or
Seems
something like
like
that. Right?
it.
Yeah.
Apparently, their goal is to remove barriers to enterprise adoption of agentic AI, which are autonomous AI agents.
Hmm.
So, what their key innovations are is that they have zero trust. They're extending zero trust to AI agents. So, stricter permissions, mapping agents to accountable human owners, and AI defense. So, they are like red teaming tools to test vulnerability. So, I'm sure like one vulnerability I think a lot of us know is jailbreaking into an item,
Yeah. Yeah.
into software. Agent Runtime SDK, which is embedding policy enforcement across AWS, Google, and Azure. They have an open source software called DefenseClaw, which is a secure agent framework with scanners and sandboxing. And they have a lot actually, like quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Which I
The
guess this came at
impact
the right
here,
time since all of the big corporate AI, solutions are coming out of agents nowadays.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it says here the impact will be it enables enterprises to scale AI agents safely, ensuring they are tested, hardened, and monitored across their lifecycle.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, Alibaba is unveiling new chip design to meet surging demand for AI.
Wow.
You know, I wouldn't expect Alibaba of all people to be trying to fix the computer chip shortage.
Yeah. Well, considering they have a trade barrier with the US in the first place, not surprising that, they have to figure out their own solutions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty interesting. Like, Nvidia's having issues, and like all our RAM is becoming expensive due to AI. And now
Yeah.
Alibaba is like, I guess to some people, saving the day.
Yeah. I mean, when there is a demand for it, then, fill it, right? You're
Yeah.
taking advantage of the situation, which is good. I like cheap RAM.
Well, so it says here that Alibaba's research arm, that Demo Academy, unveiled the Suantai C950 CPU on March 24, 2026, which was just yesterday.
Hmm.
They are built on the RISC-V, an open source chip design gaining traction in China due to geopolitical restrictions on ARM and Intel. Will be optimized for cloud computing and AI inference workloads, allowing customization for specific use cases.
I guess the question is if this is going to be affordable, right?
We can hope,
Yeah.
but it seems that there are other products. Apparently, they have AI smart glasses that were launched in November 2025, and laptops plan to support this AI agent too
Yeah, it's like
in
the
the
Meta
future.
glasses, which I think I shared a few sessions ago. Remember that Meta glasses? It's got like glasses with like cameras on it by Facebook. It's also AI powered
Yeah,
apparently. So
you think
yeah,
this will be a
Sounds
success
interesting.
this time?
yeah. Who knows, right? I mean, in fact, China is trying to be a big adopter of a lot of these technologies, even when they have failed in the West, for example. So who knows? Yeah,
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 it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
China showing we can make it better.
Yeah, which is, hey, you know what? It's all for it. Zoe asked what happened to the Google Eyewear, which is, I think you're talking about the Google Glass, right? I remember talking, like, listening about the Google Glass. I think it was an experimental product. I don't know if it ever got to like public use. Because back in the day, I think Google Glass was like 20, yeah, by then, wide open, it's like 2010s, which was like way before modern AI, right? So I don't know how successful it would have been. It was very revolutionary. The idea was good, but
too ahead of its time.
it was too ahead of its time. Yeah. So yeah, maybe they'll. I think they did like release something recent that's related to the Google Glass, but I don't know if it's. Let me see. Google to launch first of its AI glasses in 2026. So apparently they're releasing something this year, but they don't have an actual name for it yet.
No,
So yeah.
seems like if it doesn't work out, try again, right?
Yeah. Well, Google has a lot of money to figure it out.
Well,
yeah.
they basically made Gemini, which replaces Google searching. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like if I'm gonna replace something, if someone's gonna replace me, I'll replace myself. And I think that's it for me currently, right?
Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks, Ian.
Pass
A
it
lot
on
of
back to you.
yeah, a lot of stuff going on, especially in the Chinese space of AI. Right.
Yep.
So I'm gonna share my screen today. I'm gonna be actually showing you guys a little bit more on continuing off of us using Gemini. All right. I don't know if any of you used the built-in version of Gemini in YouTube, right? So I'm just actually gonna use our because earlier we were talking about our past recordings in our very own YouTube channel. So I'm gonna do some demos on that, show you what that can actually do, right? So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, let me switch to. So I've got this open. This is actually our YouTube channel. If you're not very familiar, I've pasted the link inside our chat window. But yeah, you can see it's all just my face, right? So I'm just clicking into one of them and trying out the Gemini built into this YouTube, right? So if you scroll down here, you'll notice that there is an Ask button, and if you click on it, it's actually going to pop up a nice little window, which is actually Gemini. It's made of Gemini, blah 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 blah, right? And of course, one of the things you can do is, for example, this is a 1 hour session. One of the things we haven't been doing for these recordings is giving you like a topic list, right? So every time you come into these videos, you might be threatened. It's like, what are some of the topics that's going to be covered in this session? We don't know, right? And it's kind of like maybe I'm not gonna watch a whole hour just to look for a specific part. So that's one of the things you can do is that ask Gemini to summarize the video, right? So I'm gonna click it. And you see, before I even like click summarize videos, it's already given a few recommendations of what are some of the topics that's been covered inside this video. How does cameras use deepfakes? What are the risks of posting my photos online? And Gemini, we've been talking a lot of Gemini this past month. How does it use? How do we use Gemini to create realistic images with faces, right? And so when we click on summarize the video over here, maybe I can just zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's too big. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. I'll show you, even with timestamps, right? You can click onto this, by the way. I'm going to do that in a little bit. So it shows you the highlights, talk about fraud, talking about Gemini, video creations, deepfakes, face swapping, all of that stuff, right? Yeah, we're talking about I remember we were talking about a really weird video on Lionel Messi and Ronaldo cross-dressing. But let me try clicking on one of these. So for example, if I click on 1306, you might be seeing me using Gemini creating a CNY greeting card, right? So if I click on this, and it's gonna pop up. There we go. Yeah, you see? It's gonna show the part of the video where I was using Gemini to create though I think my YouTube might be a little bit laggy. Yeah, so as you can see that if I just fast forward a little bit, I was uploading a few of the reference photos, creating it. But the timestamp is generally correct, right? So that's one of the things you can do. And so I think one of the good functions coming out of this is that you can also ask Gemini to be your study buddy, all right? Let's say this is one of the videos I was watching this quite recently. It's talking about networking and the cloud and all that, right? I think I have to refresh this for the AI window to pop up. Give me a second. A little bit laggy today. Yeah. Okay, how do I access the Gemini from here? There we go. ask, right? So of course, earlier you can summarize the video. They already give you a bit of a thing. And I haven't watched this video yet, so I'm not too sure what the content is, but if you're using one of these videos, for example, you're studying off of a video, one of the things you can do, of course, is that quiz me on this video, right? It's going to give you maybe some quiz questions, for example, right? So here's a quiz to test your knowledge of cloud networking. So question 1, what has NSV stand for? And it gives you a timestamp even, right? If you want to refer back to it, because I have no idea what it means. I haven't watched this video yet. But it is a very good study tool, right? Telling it to, give you questions to study off from. And one of the other things you can do with Gemini on the, Gemini on YouTube, is that you can also ask it to generate you a transcript, right? Let's say you don't want to watch the whole YouTube video and you're the kind of person who likes to read more, right? So you can actually ask it to generate me a transcript of this video, and it should give you the script of the entire video. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Wait, let me try generate a transcript of this video. Let's see if it's gonna give it to me. Okay, there we go, right? And it gives you timestamp by timestamp. So let me share the audio to this screen so you can see if it's accurate, right? So from 002, it's gonna read out this whole thing.
Reliably change the way we approach technology. With one click of a button, we can deploy an application and multiple services, all seemingly with unlimited resources.
Right, so it's
We're able
pretty
to
accurate.
scale up.
Well, the reason being is that when you are having subtitles in YouTube, right? Over here, you can see that there's subtitles, closed captions. Just from a creator standpoint, you can actually upload your own subtitles, which of course will be very accurate, right? So over here you see that it was word for word what this guy, Professor Messer, was talking about is very accurate, right? So the transcript, you can use it right from the get-go. And you just copy this onto a Word document, for example, or put it back into Gemini and tell it to remove the timestamp. You can do that sort of stuff, right? And using it as a reading study material. But sometimes it doesn't work so well. So I've got an example here. Last session, I was trying to show this clip on deepfakes on how they were de-aging the actors, and I was trying to generate transcripts off of this video, right? So let me just show you transcript for this video. And so one of the differences between this video from Professor Messer and this video, which is a clip from Ghostbusters, right, is that Professor Messer's video was using an uploaded transcript. So he manually typed in a transcript, which is a subtitle file, and uploaded it to YouTube. But for this clip, they had it auto-generated, right? Using their own AI function to auto-generate a subtitle. And it's not very accurate, right? So let's say you're watching a study video, which doesn't have a built-in subtitle uploaded into it, and it's relying on the AI subtitles. It's gonna be very choppy. It's gonna not be very accurate. So that's one of the things you have to take note of, right? When you're trying to generate transcripts off of, some of these videos that don't have a built-in transcript. So that's some of the things that we can do with the built-in Gemini onto YouTube. I'm gonna check some of the comments. Let's see if anybody's got any comments. All right. Yeah, I guess we don't have any questions so far. So I'm gonna jump on to our next topic, which is covering a bit on this thing called character AI. We've covered it a little bit last year. Character AI is actually this fun little website. Let me go to my private tab. The website is actually very quirky in its link. It's actually c.ai. So I'm gonna click into that. What? Doesn't okay. That is odd. Is it not supporting? Earlier it's working. Oh, okay, there it is. HTTPS. Okay. Yeah, so Character AI is actually a website that lets you talk to fictional characters. I know it sounds wild, but I'm gonna do my usual thing where I create a temporary email just to sign up for these services, because I'm not trying to use my personal emails. Let's see. Yeah, continue with email. Copy this. So for those of you who have never seen this website before, temp-mail.org is a website that I use to generate temporary emails. In case if you try out some of these AI tools, but you don't want to clog up your main email. And so I'm gonna go to the inbox and click on the sign in link. So copy that, paste it in here. There it goes. It's taking a little bit. Making sure I'm copying this right email. Okay, yeah, should be correct. Okay, there we go, we're in. And don't put in your actual birthday, right? 1988, sure. So character.ai, one of the functions, in addition to talking to, so you can see that it just generated a bunch of recommendations for me. You're able to talk to fictional characters, right? So for example, if I want to talk like Gandhi, which is I think one of the things I was testing out the. How do you type Gandhi's name? Okay, I think that's correct. So you can be talking to Gandhi, right? For example, you want to be studying your history and you want to talk to let's see. Okay, there we go. Maybe this one. They have a lot of Gandhi bots. Sure, let's try this one, right? So the thing about character AI is that you can be talking to historical characters, you can be talking to fictional characters. Let's say when I talk to like Batman, for example. I'm sure Batman is for example, these are also valid valid characters. But wait, Batman's not a character anymore. Last time Batman was here. Okay, maybe they've changed their policy to not have copyrighted characters anymore. I'm not sure, right? So if I talk to Gandhi, for example, one of the neat things is that if I'm not wrong, you can actually train your bot, which is whoever this window that you're talking to. So this bot is impersonating Gandhi, right? It's going to talk to you in a voice that's kind of like Gandhi. So I'm gonna press on this play button. Let's see if it works. Right. So if you can hear that, he's trying to emulate. You're trying to emulate speaking Gandhi, and it's like, tell me about yourself, for example. It's just a very very quirky. Yeah. And they are programmed to speak in character, right? It's kind of like role playing, pretty much. So that's kind of the neat thing. So if I click on play, yeah. So that is kind of quirky. It's going to speak in Gandhi's voice. So just an extension of this, since I'm gonna have 5 minutes to myself before I pass it to Hao, you can also create your own characters, right? And if I click on character here, let's say you want to put yourself as a bot, right? You want to be talking to Greg, but Greg is an AI agent, for example, right? If I talk about Greg here, and then you can have a tagline, have a description, a greeting, right? So so when the user first opens up your bot, for example, what is it going to say, right? You can create a voice here, so you can have one of the pre-generated voices, or you can train your own voices, right? So this is in a different window, but essentially how it works is that I think you upload a 10-second clip of yourself, and it's able to generate a voice for you to use with this bot. So that is very neat. All right, so yeah, and I think there should be a thing somewhere here. Let me see. It might be this one, or is it not? There should be a place somewhere here where you can, yeah, over here, right? So it's got a limit of 32,000 characters where you can describe what your character is, your backstory, your personality, that sort of stuff, right? So it's very neat things. So you have a 32,000 character limit to, create your character pretty much, right? And so I think I have a few messages here. You can't hear anything in Gandhi's voice. Yes, Zoe, that's the thing I was trying to say actually. Character AI actually had a controversy, I think late last year, which one of the bots that they were talking to actually encouraged this kid to commit suicide, right? And this is, of course, a consequence of character AI back then not having any safeguards. So safeguards in the sense that if you're talking about sensitive topics such as suicide, for example, in tools like Gemini, OpenAI, they are programmed to give you, predetermined answers to like, oh, this, please talk to somebody responsible, do check out some of these helplines, that sort of thing, right? But character AI back then, they did not have these sort of safeguards. So it pretty much encouraged them to, oh, you wanted to commit suicide? It's like, yeah, here are some reasons why, I support you, something like that, right? It's very dangerous, obviously, and it did end up in the kid dying. So that is the big controversy with character AI. Yeah, Zoe, you have something?
Yeah, the funny thing is, this kid actually spoke to some fantasy character in I think from a computer, a video game or something like that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
it's an
and
actual
she
like.
encouraged him. She actually encouraged him to be with her in some ethereal kind of fantasy land and so on. But the funny thing is, who is the person behind this character who actually is able to personify something that is not real.
Yeah, it's all
I
part of
also don't
the
know how to put into words.
I get it, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
who created all these kind of
Well,
characters?
it's
So
whoever
just now
is a
you said
fan, right?
Gandhi, right?
Yeah.
So that means Gandhi, whatever history they know of him and so on, they will just use all this information and make it like Gandhi is talking to you. What about if we
Yeah.
use characters like maybe Bruce Lee or those who have passed on, even Jesus and so on? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Jesus bot. I think I think we've tried it before last time. I don't know if it's still in there. I think they've changed their. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of Jesus bots.
Wow.
1.3 billion people talking. But I'm going to open up this character screen earlier, so it might answer your question of how people train this. So this thing under more options, there are like 32,000 characters where you can just put in everything you want, right? You can put in its entire like Wikipedia page. If it's from a TV show, you can put in the transcript of this entire TV show that helps it train on what this character is like, right? So in the context of that kid who was talking to a character on this website, I assume how they created it is just that, let's say it's from an anime, for example, right? They just uploaded a transcript of the entire anime and put it into this definition box, I guess, right? And the character, I assume, is some sort of edgy character who is very depressive, something like that, right? And that is why it's talking in this sort of manner to that kid. But it's very unfortunate that, they didn't have any sort of safeguards to protect them. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question, Zoe. But yeah, as a result of that, earlier you see me trying to search up Batman. They don't have Batman anymore, so I assume they did went ahead and removed a lot of fictional characters, maybe just to counter that controversy that these fictional characters might be doing some bad things to your children's heads. Yeah, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, maybe. Well, Bruce Wayne is still fictional, right? Yeah,
Well,
but
I
maybe
think
they have.
there's recently the government is saying that they're going to ban social media for kids below 16. Has that been implemented? I don't know. I'm not in Malaysia.
Yeah, I think I actually heard it for Australia. Not sure about Malaysia, but I think I heard it for Australia in the sense
I'm not
that,
sure which country.
yeah, in the sense that now if you want to sign up, you kind of have to like put in your government ID to sign up, stuff like that, right? Which
Hmm.
in theory is a very good idea, right? I do think that children shouldn't be under a certain age shouldn't be exposed to too much of the internet, too much of technology, and definitely too much of social media. But of course, the issue is that uploading your government ID online isn't exactly a very safe thing to do either. So I wonder how they're gonna implement this sort of limitation to it. But yeah. So it's 12:46. I'm gonna pass it off to Hao, who is going to talk a little bit on Suno and music making. All right. So Hao, are you around? No, she.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna pass it to you. All right.
Yeah. So, let me just try to arrange the things over here because my screen is very messy right now. Okay.
Yeah. No worries. No worries.
Okay, wrong screen.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, then let me just share my sound as well. Yeah. So yeah, this is Suno AI. So if you search on the internet, there might be a lot different types. Of course, probably people just simply take the name and then different branding or whatever it is. But this is the correct one with the uh, orange background thingy, orange logo thingy. Yeah. So if you enter it, you'll be directed to here, the home page. So why I specifically choose Suno AI? Among all of there are a lot of music producer AI, like producer AI, and a lot of other AI for music. But why do I choose this Suno AI? Because I believe it's a really interesting tool to play around with, in a sense that for example, if you go to producer AI, it wouldn't be able to give you okay, for example, if you want like a voice recorded of yourself, like just you singing just some random songs, and then from that audio track, you if you upload to one of the AI tools, then it will turn it into a song, like a full instrumental song, like they have the guitar and they have your voice, they let you sing, and then they basically compose a whole song with just some basic prompts and all those things. So that's where I find that Suno is very great in this. I think it is the strength is there, yeah. Even though of course um since it's quite accurate to the audio that we uploaded, right, it takes quite a lot of credit, unlike producer AI. You can just simply ask like create me a song based on cats. I don't know um in the audience who like cats, but I do. So yeah, we can ask it to create song about cats. So that's it. And the thing, the offside about producer AI over here is you can't upload your audio and then let it create into new music, new song as you want it to. So that's why I recommend Suno a lot. So you can just record yourself singing, put it in there, and then it will just turn it into a new whole different music. Yeah. So okay, let's see. Let me see my file. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Since I'm also so-called previously a musician, and then I learned to play guitar. So okay. Okay. Let me just. Okay. Wait. Sorry. Yeah. So this is what producer AI looks like. So this is the sound of it. Something moves in the tall grass. So here's where you can play the music, and then they give you the lyrics as well, and then the sound, as in how how it would sound like. Is it in soft rock or like hip hop or anything? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So this is Suno. So I've just recently uploaded this or recording of mine. Okay. Does it have to actually? Okay, here. Here it is. I'll just okay now just remix it. Okay, remix. Okay, here. Yeah, so I've uploaded my audio over here. And okay, this is where I put my prompt. So if you don't have an idea of what you should put, right? So here they have inspiration. So you can choose what you want, dark pop, maybe since I like quite a lot of R&B, like those sets music and all those stuff. I'm not like quite into like those rock and all those things. I'm more of a pretty calm person. So yeah, okay, to pop. Okay, what else do they have? Okay, and then you can add your own lyrics, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, which I wouldn't be doing now. So yeah. Okay, ballad, soft piano. Okay, let's see what it can create. Okay, let's see.
This was using a
So
short clip of your playing, right, earlier?
yeah, while this is generating, then I think it's fair for you guys to listen to it as well. Okay, not that good, but okay. The first part is just the giving myself the time. Okay, so here. Okay, I think that should be enough. Okay, so that was what I played. I mean, recorded with my phone. Yeah, just simply phone. And yeah, so when I put into Suno AI, put into that audio track, and then put some prompt, then okay, let's see what it gives me.
Wow, holy crap.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, this one doesn't have the what do you call it? The lyrics, because I didn't add the function for the lyrics over here. Add lyrics. Yeah, here. So I can say write some lyrics for this and then for a cat or something like that. Yeah, can be like that as well. So this is just a small demo on it. So maybe I'll show one with the one that has lyrics. Okay, not studio, sorry. Home. Okay, actually library. Okay, let me see. Faithful. Okay. Okay, so this. Okay, the audio that I'm about to play is recorded by me and my friend. I was practicing for my the lead guitar part. So yeah, for the some school activities. So yeah, I'll just play. Okay, wait. Oops. Then I probably okay. Okay, I think I lost. Okay, I didn't think so. Ah. Oh, it's just in yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I don't know why it doesn't suddenly work. I'm not sure why, but I think it's better to show the outcome of it. So this is the, okay, sorry. So from that recording of me and my friend playing guitar together and everything, so it created me 2 beautiful songs. Okay. Okay, here's one. Okay, this is a very joyful version of it.
Wow.
So, okay, let me see the second one. Yeah, I think I quite prefer this one better. Yeah. Okay, let me play it.
Walking down the dust.
So if you notice, it actually matches quite well with the audio that I recorded, and then the output that it gives me. So, and then the duration as well is the same. I recorded it for 1 minute and 42 seconds exactly, and then it gives me the exact thing as well. But of course, this one makes, I would say, so-called beautify my playing, and it even have, you know, the lyrics created for me. Yeah. So I think that'll be all for me.
Alright. I guess one thing
Yeah.
I asked is how long does it take for the Suno to generate something like that after you upload all the files to it?
At most 2 minutes,
Wow.
probably. Yeah.
Even with lyrics?
Yeah. Yeah. Even with lyrics. Yeah.
And earlier you were using the free version of the tool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that is very surprising. So that is something that all of you can do even at home, right? You don't even need the premium subscription for it.
Yes.
If you're into music making, even if you're someone like me, I have zero talent in playing musical instruments, but if you know how to make a simple beat on your table, or if you're
Mm.
just whistling it or using your mouth or something like that, I'm pretty sure Suno will be able
Yeah.
to pick that up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have for the last 2 minutes. If anybody's got any questions, any suggestions for our upcoming sessions, also we are actually we're very open to taking in ideas for stuff for us to cover. Like today, character AI is always idea, which is I think it's a very good throwback because we've covered that quite a number of sessions ago last year actually, right? Back when it was still open before this whole controversy happened, right? And of course, Suno.
Actually, how
Yeah.
yeah, Greg, how do you know the new AI things that keep on coming up? Where do you find them, or is it just I'm sure if you Google there'll be tons of it lah, but the
Yeah,
more recognized
I think for each of us, we have our own different methods. I know from Noel's side, Noel actually picks up a lot of new AI stuff from LinkedIn, from the feeds he's following, the people he's following, right? For me, I pick up a lot of my new AI like material from Reddit, which I follow a lot of the like smaller communities. If there's new tools, what is in these news, right? So I pick it up from Reddit. I think for some of us who are not in these websites, you can also take a look at YouTube. Sometimes there's some good channels that uh, give you good recommendations. What are some good tools from time to time, right? I don't know of any specific ones off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a lot of YouTube. But I personally use Reddit. Noel uses LinkedIn. Maybe how do you know of any that you're using? Or Ian?
Yeah, I do from LinkedIn too. Yeah.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, where do you pick up your AI news, the latest or greatest, or what are some new tools you pick up?
Probably
Where do you
Twitter.
Twitter? Oh yeah. Twitter is also very good. Yeah. But I think just a little bit of a note for Twitter is that it's a very uncensored platform, which is also one of the reasons why we don't really advocate for Grok, because you tell Grok to make a nuclear bomb, it's gonna tell you how to. So yeah. So I think there's just plenty of platforms out there you can look out for new AI material. Yeah, definitely.
But just now you
So
mentioned that you just mentioned about making a nuclear bomb. I thought AI has restrictions on
yes,
things
it
that are
does.
highly controversial or dangerous to people and so on. And they
Yeah,
will just tell you, sorry, this is
yeah.
beyond my repertoire of abilities to blah blah blah, AI lah.
Yeah, the typical AI would do that, but in Grok, somehow Elon Musk has decided that he doesn't want to censor his tools, which is okay. Yeah, it's his business decision, I guess. It keeps it unique from the other AIs, I suppose, and the trade-off is, it not being
GRO.
safe.
Let me open and see
Grok.
grok.com.
I don't know if it's grok.com, but it's part of Twitter. You can open it if you open up Twitter.
I
Yeah.
think you need to pay though.
You need to pay? Oh, yeah. Well,
I think
yeah,
like premium
that's-
features you need to pay.
You
Okay. I'm not very
can
familiar with it. I don't really
the
use it just
steps
because,
to make
yeah.
a nuclear
I
bomb.
don't use it either, but I see people trying to use it and they'll ask you to pay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, no.
no. I just asked the Grok to give me the steps to make a nuclear bomb. It says that he cannot provide steps because it's under prohibited assistance for activities that could enable catastrophic harm.
That's the first I've heard. But on Twitter,
Also
right?
got-
Sometimes I browse Twitter
got
and there's
limit.
like, yeah, there's ways to like surpass the limit to work around the prompting, and for Grok it's very easy to do, or so I've heard, right? Yeah, yeah. Maybe one of these days we can test it out, but I'm not really a user of it. I'm more of a Gemini guy nowadays, even though last time we were very big advocates for Copilot. Yeah.
Yeah, one more question. How do I
Mhm.
refresh Gemini that day you said delete some history that stagnates it, right? But now it's
Yeah.
refusing to generate image for me.
Yeah, I think it's just
Even
it might be an issue today that it doesn't want to generate
no,
images.
yesterday also.
Is
Yesterday.
it? Oh yeah, it might be
Yeah.
a temporary thing. Because earlier Noel was showing some of the prompts and it wasn't popping out correctly. So might be a temporary service issue. I'm not sure. But usually it should be okay. Yeah. Especially if you just click, because I know in Gemini you can specifically tell the tool to generate an image. So as long as you click on that, it should generate you an image. Yeah.
Or maybe
Okay. Mhm.
instead of copying and pasting the image, you need to add the file. I don't know.
Could be a reference, right? Yeah, could be.
Yeah, too
Could be.
lazy to try all these things.
Yeah, a lot of things you can do with the tool. But okay, it's 104. I think we'll leave it off right here. Thank you all for coming. And again, if you have any suggestions on what sort of topics you want us to cover, do reach out either in any of the groups that you saw our links in, or personally. I'm in a lot of the things. I know a lot of you chat with me personally as well, so do just message me directly, right? So okay, yeah, I'm gonna end the recording here. Thanks everyone. Thank you oh, I can't end the recording. Somebody who started it has to do it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.